Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner, along with Graham Noble, Sarah Calgill, James Fight, and Jeff Charles. And this is the Conservative Five, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. Who makes up the Republican Party? That seems to be the question on liberal minds these days. In a breathtakingly partisan speech, President Biden called out millions of MAGA Republicans as public enemy number one. Some leftists insist the GOP has gone rogue and is in the evil grip of Donald J. Trump. Others say, no, the GOP has not really gone full MAGA, so what gives? Well, panel, welcome to the confusion. Graham, I recently argued in an article for Liberty Nation that MAGA is nothing more than a catchphrase for the America First platform. And the GOP has clearly gone over to the MAGA side, in my opinion. I'd love to hear your insight.
Well, the short answer to that, Lisa, is yes, you're correct. I mean, the left has tried to make this word MAGA, which obviously stands for Make America Great Again, which you'd think nobody would be able to argue with that concept. But anyway, they've tried to actually make this new word MAGA into something sinister and menacing, almost kind of let's be brutally honest here. They're almost equating it with basically fascist or Nazi. It's a new concept. It's some
not almost. I mean, they're saying semi-fascism.
Yes, they are. That's true.
There it is.
I was trying to be a little nice, but
Very
you're right. Absolutely, they are absolutely saying that. But we remember. I can't help thinking of the Jussie Smollett incident in Chicago. And the reason why I bring this up is because there's this guy, this not at all famous thespian, who's walking down the street at 2 a.m. On a frigid Chicago night. And by some coincidence of cosmic proportions, he comes across, the only two Trump supporters in South Chicago who happen to recognize him because, of course, they're big fans of his show, Empire. And what do they scream at him? They scream, apparently, this is MAGA country. You see, and this is all part of this. They've invented a new word, it's a new political philosophy. And they're trying to conjure up sinister images of Trump standing, giving a speech in front of, a sinister blood red backdrop where he's screaming that his political opponents are a threat to the country. Oh, wait a minute. No, that was Joe Biden, of course. But really, is MAGA a threat to democracy? What? Claiming, disputing the outcome of an election like the Democrats have been doing since 2016, or, political violence, the way Democrats, set fire to Washington, D.C. after the 2016 election. I think on the day that Trump was actually being, the electoral votes were being counted, which Democrats on Capitol Hill actually tried to prevent as well. So, basically what it comes down to is there's nothing new about Make America Great Again. Okay, Trump captured lightning in a bottle in 2016, but he didn't invent that entire philosophy. That's what conservatives have wanted for years. All the things that Trump was pushing for. The answer is yes, the GOP is MAGA. And even those Republicans who want to maybe move on from Donald Trump himself are still following that Make America Great Again philosophy.
Yeah, I think Democrats are having problems grappling with this question that the GOP has turned America first. Jeff, do you see this as the issue with the Democrats? I mean, isn't this as obvious as the nose on your face?
Well, I mean, that may be the trouble for everyday rank and file Democrats who don't really understand what's going on the right, mainly because they don't really talk to people on the right. But when it comes to President Biden in the White House and the messaging coming from politicians about what's a MAGA Republican or what's a mainstream Republican, in the words of my uncle, these people are lying and the truth ain't in them. And they're playing on the fact that their base doesn't really understand what a MAGA Republican is. Like, what does a person who identifies as MAGA actually believe? The thing is, even if you're non-MAGA, but you're anti-establishment, policy-wise, you have a lot in common with people on the MAGA side. Really, the only real difference is the level of populism involved. MAGA tends to be a little bit more populist than others. But Biden was lumping pretty much everybody in with that and using MAGA to describe people who like to riot at the Capitol and things like that. That's what he was trying to do. And I don't care what he said the day after, because he probably forgot what he said the day before, but he tried to walk it back. No, that man said what he said, and he meant every single bit of it. And it was specifically designed to convince his base that people on the right are scary people who want to violate their rights and that they're in line with the people that rioted at the Capitol.
Sarah, I'm waiting for you to chime in.
Woo! Well, they're, short story made long, boys. Honestly, let's face it. When you have a speech and you call half of the country semi-fascist, and behind you stands two Marines basically standing guard, the imagery is very strong. And you could call me MAGA, you can call me conspiracy theorist, but no president should ever use the military, even if it's just an optic, to show force that, we'll take you out. And that's, I think, what he was doing. Yeah, he walked it back, but he's so out of touch. He doesn't know, who ties his shoes in the morning. And I'm not sure it's Joe Biden. But the other thing is, Democrats, I don't think we're fascist, all of us. I think there's one or two, and they're the ones with the bullhorns. So, I don't know, but I don't think there's a rift in the Republican Party. I think it's already MAGA.
Yeah, but Joe Biden's a man of the people, Sarah.
Shut up.
He used to
Tim.
be a truck driver, for crying out loud.
Shut up, Tim.
Among many other things, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing about it, though, is that I was looking this morning, actually, reading about a new poll, Reuters Ipsos poll, that apparently is being touted as proof that most Americans view MAGA, whatever that is, as a threat to democracy. But I'm thinking, well, you can always reverse poll numbers. If 25% of Republicans said it is a threat to democracy, that means 75% of Republicans believe it isn't. And out of those, who knows, when they answer those pollsters over the phone, are they saying, oh, yes, MAGA, threat to democracy, because they're a little, intimidated by being asked about it and they want to say the right thing? Who knows? But it's the Republican Party, I believe, is still overwhelmingly going with that philosophy now. And I think there's no disputing it.
Well, look how we know this. I mean, just look at the primaries, right, Jim? You've been covering the primaries of the crazy.
Graham made a good point about the reverse of the 25% with being the 75%. That's who you got to look at. Also, we got 1,000 respondents out of 340 million citizens in the U.S. 180 something thousand legal adults. I'm sorry, million, not thousand.
and Democrats were slightly oversampled, just by a little bit.
So where did these 1,000 people come from? I didn't get a phone call out in my neck of the woods.
Let me just say something. I've been covering polls and writing about polls for 40 years. Every pollster will tell you that national polls are not worth anything. They're not worth their salt. And then polls that are not conducted with likely voters, but just anybody who picks up the phone, that's another bell that should go off in your head. But anyway, it appears that mainstream Republicans and Democrats agree that Trump and MAGA must go. Whether that's a reality or a wish will only become clear after November 8th. We'll keep you posted. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform. YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble, we're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, surf on over to libertynation.com. Join us in the member zone, just $17.76 for the year. Thanks to our fantastic editor and post coordinator, Frank Diorio, and our executive producer, Sarah Calgill. I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief. Thanks for joining us today. This has been a production of libertynation.com, where truth is making a comeback.